Shukrana, and happy Canada Day to all the Canadians and everyone really. And Aunty, you look so beautiful. And I just want to say Shukrana to Guruji, because this year Guruji through you made my birthday even more blessed. Of course, I believe, and based on the scriptures and all the holy books, your real birthday is the day that your guru initiates you. So I do consider July 7 also my birthday, because that's the day I was truly reborn, and all my ailments faded, and his miraculous hand, but also the birthday that I physically have is in January, and Guruji through you blessed my life so much, and I never forget it. So I wanted to say thank you to you and happy Canada Day. Today, without a doubt, nothing is by coincidence when the Guru arrives into our lives, and today is such, I don't want to get, whatever you want, Guruji. I may get emotional a lot today, because today marks the 3 years that Maharaj came to my life through this book. So on this day, around the same time, I was in a church. By this time, I'm sitting in a church called C3. It started at 10:30. So I want to give a little bit of how my journey started with Maharaj. And the only reason I think that I can think with my logical mind is that he's chosen me. Of course, it's because of there is no creed and culture or color or anything with divinity. Divinity, we're all one to him. But it's also to show people to show his Sangat that he can do anything. And when I go back to my own satsangs, I don't like to use that when I go to what Guruji does and did through me, or in this journey for me, anything is possible. I didn't know anybody in Sangat. I didn't even know what Sangat was. All I knew was that I wanted to die. And on this day, I go to buy hair color 3 years back, exactly on this day. And my only mentality was that because I had cut my hair so short, literally boy cut, like this short, but this liquid, because of my ailments, this liquid would come out of my scalp. And it was, if I took a shower now, it was oily. And no doctor could diagnose me for 6 years. Now in India, I heard someone say you were going through Kundalini awake. I don't label his divinity. I don't give a name to anything. I don't know. And the more you go forward on this path, and the divine book that Guruji Maharaj told his Sangat to read, because he's so evident in the autobiography, the more you get to know Guruji is that you realize the more you don't know. And all I know is that I don't know anything. And anyway, that day I go to buy hair color. I don't want to go so much in detail, but the pharmacy was closed. Then I hear in my ear, go to C3 church. And this church was introduced to me by someone who just came into my life, told me this church, and left my life. And then literally standing like a homeless on the side of the street. I look like a homeless. I really did, with my hair looking, with my skin, all these things coming out of my skin. I looked unpresentable. Nothing at all like this. Nothing. I mean, and I had friends literally pass by me on the street and they wouldn't recognize me. And so anyway, the pharmacy was closed. I find my way to the church. The church was not the church that I had searched for. Guruji takes over my body at that time, leads me to this church. There's a girl standing. I want to show you guys this because I have actually a picture of that day of the girl's tattoo, which it was not me taking this photo. This photo is actually taken by Guruji himself, because I was not even in that train of thought. Like I said, all I wanted to do was to die, but this girl was standing, this is 3 years back on that day, standing right in front of the church, and on her tattoo, it says Mumkin. So what caught my eye was this word mumkin right here. And the moment, and there's a sword and roses all over her. She looked very special. Now I realize going back, she had this, I really know it was Guruji in a different form. I know that. Um, she had this vibration, and even when I left the church, she was staring at me. So, anyway, so I said, what does your tattoo mean? Because mumkin also in Farsi means possible. She said, anything is possible. So even if we don't understand things today, Guruji will always, everything that stands out that he wants us to, our attention to go to, it will come. It will connect, basically. So, okay, I go inside, but on the way to church, I was running and crying. And literally, when they closed the doors and they did worship music, exactly 3 years ago, the girl, probably at this time, exactly, it's 11 a.m. in Toronto now, probably around the same time, she said, God just told me, literally, she stopped the band and she said, God just told me that someone on the way to church was crying and running today, and God wants you to know that this suffering is over and land of grace is near. And my soul knew that was for me. And we're talking Canada Day. The church was maybe that, I don't know, 700, 800, 1,000 people sitting there. And Guruji can do anything. Millions of people or one person, a huge satsang or no satsang, just you and him. His ways are unlimited. And, he spoke to me. Then I felt a presence with me when I left the church. I think it finished around 11:30, like half an hour from now. And I literally kneeled outside of the church and I was howling and crying. And I said, whoever that you were, I'm not even religious. I was born in a Muslim country, but I will convert. If you're Jesus, I will convert. If you're whatever you are, I need you eternally. I go back, my feet get stuck. Again, Guruji Maharaj has taken over. Once the Guru comes, you are his project now. You are his responsibility. Wherever he wants you to go, he takes over this system, which is ultimately his creation. This mind wants to tell us that it's me, it's the ego, because it wants to control and doubt, and maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that, maybe I should have done that, maybe I should have looked this way. He has the remote control, and wherever and whatever we are is exactly where he wants us to be. And at that moment, he locks my feet. I can't go forward. I look to my right. There's a bookstore there. And he gives me a vision of the white light that came into my house when I was bedridden during the second episode. And literally, the vision comes, the white light. I pick up the book right in front of you, and all I see in the bookshelf is this book, exactly the same book, called The Divine Light. And I didn't see anything but the light. He just, again, you see this small eye, but Guruji even has control over where this angle of the eye will go. I mean, all I remember was the light, the vision of the light, and I picked up the book. And only Guruji knows I made fun of the book. I opened it, haha, somebody's journey, probably like eat, pray, love, blah, blah, blah. God doesn't exist. If God existed, I wouldn't be suffering for 6 years. I had all this reasoning mind and the ifs and buts, of course. The book comes out with me, but before the book came out with me, I learned a very important lesson. And I have to say, something that I've realized is that Guruji taught me a lot of things before he even initiated me. Like, he was teaching me things. Like, I just sent a prayer before I left the bookstore, and I was like, God, what financial crisis? Because I literally spent all my savings during my ailment. Like, anything that I saved, it was, most of it, 99% was gone. And because I come from a family where we don't ask, I mean, since I was 13, Shukrana to Guruji, I've been on my own feet. It's your ego. And you can't tell your mom, help me with money. And if she says, are you okay financially? You will lie and say, yes, I'm good. You just have this, ego that you feel ashamed. So I was at a point where only God knew in what condition I was in. And I was using my loan In Canada, you can get loan, and I was just using this loan for everything, and I was reaching the max, and I was like, you know in what condition I'm in, you help me. Power of prayer. You do not have to be in satsang. You do not have to do a certain thing. You don't have to be in meditation. If you truly, truly, truly be honest with God and really call upon him and ask him from your heart, we shouldn't limit him that I gotta go for sure in a satsang to connect, because I've heard that a lot. I should go to my house and meditate and ask divinity. No, you can be anywhere. Close your eyes, like Mirabai, a beautiful poet, the Indian poet, has said, close your eyes and just call upon him. And that's what happened at that moment. The book came out with me. And really, it was not my intention. I was not even in the right train of thought. So I left the book in the floor. 5th of July, I never opened the book, never touched it. My room was a mess. Anyway, I have a dream, and I had severe case of insomnia. When I say severe, and I mean severe, I could not sleep more than an hour, 2 hours. I was a wreck. So I got up from my sleep. It was 5 in the morning. I think I had slept somewhere around maybe 3:30, 4, I don't know. And I woke up around 5:30, and I'd be fresh. Later, I realized Guruji was telling me that he was taking a lot of the karmic that's through I had to be in this dimension. I realized that. I don't want to go so much deep to that, but he has a reason. If you have insomnia, don't force your body to do something. Listen to your body. Your body has a language of its own. There is a reason. Like, for example, Sukhmani Aunty was ill for 8 years, right beside Guruji Maharaj. Guruji told her, don't take any drugs. He could have just put his hand on, not even put a hand. He could have just healed her, but the soul has to go through certain karmic, that's a phase. And who knows, maybe he's squeezing it all for all the lifetimes. So you can, and I think that's what happened for me, because it was so excruciating that I don't even know how I survived that. And it's not a lie, I still pinch myself. It's not a day, maybe once every other day, if I'd be honest, I pinch myself that I'm not dead. This is real. This is real. That's how the severity of my ailment was. I can't even describe it with words, but Sukhmani Aunty, Guruji said, don't take any pills, don't take anything. And it's so amazing that you might not hear you might not be connected to Guruji, but he is so with you throughout the whole journey. I remember every time I spent $200, $100 for antidepressants, that I was like a guinea pig. Somebody would say she has this, somebody would say that. I had severe case of insomnia. They would give me pills and pills and pills and pills and pills. But every time I went to take a pill, I would hear a loud voice within me, don't take it. I can't even describe the voice, like, don't take it. It wasn't like I heard a man's voice or a woman's. It was like, you know me, you know yourself. This inner just certainty that he has a remote control. He'll make you understand. He'll do what he's got to do. And I didn't take any. One time I took a pill and it drove me crazy. Literally, I was screaming in the house. I don't even know what pill it was. Anyway, coming back to Guruji's grace, 5th of July. But anyway, that day when I woke up from my 5 in the morning, my body got tired, which was so unusual. Usually I was so fresh. I just felt so tired, and I was celebrating. I was like, oh my God, I feel tired. And I went back to bed, and that's when I had Maharaj's darshan, but I had no idea who Maharaj was. I just see myself in a satsang. I see a door open, people coming, they're telling us to stand up, someone out of respect. It's so vivid for me. It's so colorful. And those dreams are exactly from divinity. And no human being came, but a ball of energy, literally a ball of energy I saw. And I understand today that Maharaj was showing me his different forms, like the white light, the no color energy light, I should call it, ball of energy. And then, so I just saw it come and it went right in my stomach. I've never fainted in physical life. I fainted. I woke up still in dream state and I saw Guruji sleeping right beside me on a huge bed, and he was like on the right corner and I was like on the left. And I was like, who is this man wearing a dress? Why is he wearing a dress? Like for me, it was unusual. I've never seen a man in a dress. And it was a chocolatey brown chola. I wrote all of these down. 2 days later, the moment I wake up, this again, the same voice, go read the book. I read the book, and I think I don't want to go so much into the initiation satsang because it's also available all over YouTube, but that's how he came into my life. July 13 is the first day that I attended a satsang. It's so incredible. Like Guruji guided me telepathically through the whole thing. The book finished after reading it, I think 10 times. Like I couldn't believe my life. I would go I've never shared this. I would go to my washroom and literally I would throw what, like I can't even I would pinch myself. I would slap myself. I would tell myself that I'm not crazy. Because I couldn't believe it. It's not like I had a cousin who knew Guruji. It's not like I was in India. I just couldn't believe it. So the book became everything to me. I couldn't tell my family because I was in and out of mental institution. All I said was that I'm going for meditation or I'm meditating. I would just be alone. Of course, I was always alone because I was bedridden in my room, but I couldn't tell my family that my guru is like, what are you talking about? You know? So I read the book like there was no tomorrow, and everything I asked Guruji, of course, he was putting the thoughts in my head to ask, he would answer it. And I mean, everything. And why did I suffer? Everything was answered to me. He lived in this book for me, and he can come in any form. And this is why Guruji said, every holy book has a certain vibration that once the reader opens it, it gets infused to it doesn't matter what book. It has certain energies that it gets infused to the reader. And by just opening the book, the ailments that the best of the best doctors couldn't heal, so happy Doctors Day, Guruji as well, all my ailments were, this is my doctor, healed right away. Everything was healed. Now I go to my satsang. I called, Guruji said, literally I said, Guruji, you can't leave me out with this book anymore. You can't, you know, and reading about him leaving Mahasamadhi as if, literally as if my father has left his life and I've never met my father. Imagine, like, you know, because I really didn't have a father figure in my life, even though I do have a father, but he's not this image that society tells us a father should be. He's so opposite. He wasn't ever involved in my life. And I'm so grateful to Guruji because I used to, before Guruji, have this need for people. And I'm sure if he gave me a father that was so loving towards me, I would have depended on him and I wouldn't have connected to Guruji as much as I do today. Everything Guruji does, the way your mother is, the way your father is, the way your sibling, it all serves a purpose. I used to hate my father, hate him to the bone. Like I used to fight with God and be like literally I would see a girl. I've never received a gift. I know this is all foolish of me to say because you don't need it, and shukrana that he didn't do that, but I've never received a birthday gift from my father. Never, and to this day I've never. If you tell him you love me, he'll say, I don't even love myself. Why would I love you? That's I just want you to get an image, but no judgment. But because Guruji comes into your life and he does the inner healing, and you understand why he gave you such a father, because Otherwise, I wouldn't have looked at my father as my real father, because Guruji is a real father. Who are these vessels? I mean, yes, respect to our parents. We have to. But the real mother and actually my mother is not the typical mother, like the one that, it's not at all. So I really didn't, I was never, because my mother was a man of the family. I think you get the picture. So I didn't have that motherly figure. I didn't have that fatherly figure. And I'm so grateful to Guruji for giving me these kind of people, because now I understand. And that's what Guruji do. This is why Guruji says surrender. Once you surrender, you can hear Guruji telling you exactly why he created things the way he did. And a lot of Sangat ask me, how do you hear Guruji so well? When I was bedridden, Guruji taught me to cut off anything that was not serving me. Social media was not serving me. A lot of friends, I mean, of course, because of me being bedridden, everybody disappeared around me. Everybody. The men that liked me because of this foolish outer look, they all disappeared the moment they saw me go bald. Do you know what he did, Guruji? So amazing. He cleared everything. He took away my job. He took away these friends. He took away the social gatherings. He took away everything. And there was nothing and nothing but me and me. And I realized I was never alone. That's why, because the energy was being reserved, then I heard him, because there was, again, nobody else. I was making any, I couldn't even do anything. So I realized that that's what he does. So if people are leaving your life, if things are not working out, trust that there is a divine reason behind it. There is. Your suffering is his doing to get you closer to him. Your suffering is a way for him to take you higher, and again, to him, closer to him. And like, he cuts off all the energies that doesn't serve you along your path. So that's exactly what happened. I called, when I read the book, I called an auntie. Guruji said, go on my website. I go and I search his name. A website comes, Guruji's Lord Shiva. I was like, oh my God, there's a website. This whole new world started for me, opened up for me. It was no more just a book. And Guruji said, go to Satsang. I had understood what Satsang was from the book. And I go to Satsang, and there was a woman in Toronto who had a Satsang, and I called and she said, sorry, it's all in Hindi. It's not her fault. My question was wrong. That, you know, is it, I don't understand Hindi. You know, and she said, no, sorry, it's all in Hindi. You know, it won't serve you. So then the next, I was sitting with Guruji, suddenly he says, call again, go back on the page again. So I go to the page, and this time there was another uncle. So satsangs were happening, and I understand now that the schedule would get updated, and it would be the next person who has. So I called and I was like, look, uncle, you need to just give me half an hour. I need to tell you what's happening, what's happened. And of course, this uncle invited me to satsang, and I went to a satsang, and right away when I got there, Guruji says, get up and share your satsang. And I was like, no, are you kidding me? Like, I don't even understand anything. And I got here late. I didn't bow to you. I didn't do anything. I just went and I sat. And Guruji said, get up and share your satsang. I was like, no, Guruji, I'm not. And Guruji's like, okay, you know, this is my way of healing you. So if you're not listening, your headaches are, and literally I got my headaches, like not to the 300%. I got like 50% of it back, enough to understand that my headaches back. I was like, okay, Guruji, I will listen to you, but you need to tell me this is not just my foolish mind, because you have to understand I don't even know what is real anymore. And so then a girl comes with a t-shirt that says rise on it, and I got my answer, get up. And I shared and since then I've never had at all any of the pain that I had, any of my ailments, all faded. So you sharing satsang not only blesses the person hearing, of course, in unimaginable ways, but also the person who's saying it. Maybe there is an ailment in the body that you have no idea about. You gotta share your satsangs. The ifs and buts leave, oh, maybe I won't say it good, maybe they don't like it, maybe this is all our ifs and buts. You have to, it doesn't belong to us anyway. None of it is. He could have chosen any other Iranian woman, and it's not us. So that's about it. And of course, every day after that became a satsang. When I told my mom, I literally sat with Guruji. My parents were like, "You've changed. What happened? What are you doing?" And I was like, "Just meditation." But one day Guruji said, "It's time to tell your mom about me." So I sat with Guruji. I said, "If this is you telling me to tell my mom, please guide me." And I go to a satsang that day. Somebody gets up and says how they told their mother about Guruji. I got my answer. No coincidences. I come to my mom that night and I say, "Look, I want to tell you something that is everything that I've been looking for in my life. Even since I was a child, everything I looked for, I felt I was something I was separated from. And everything that I seeked in my life, I've it's come to me. And I need your ears, and I need you to understand that I'm not crazy." And she's like, "No, just tell me." So when I told her, she started howling. And here I am in my foolish mind thinking, my mom will never believe me ever again. And you have to understand, I have a very not a hard-headed mom, but I have a very, I don't know, she's not a kind of mom that be like, "Oh, my daughter, yes, she's very, in her own mind." And so I was like, "That's it. She'll never believe me. That's it." But I didn't really care at that point. It's like, I have Guruji, I have everything. And she started howling, saying that my grandma used to tell her about the third eye being that manifested in her house all the time, and she never believed her own mother. And I couldn't believe my eyes of what I was hearing, because I saw Guruji manifest. For those who don't know, again, I don't want to go so much into it, but Guruji Maharaj manifested in July 2003 in my grandmother's house when I took a trip to Iran, which was all orchestrated by him. And and my grandma used to tell my mom and my eldest aunt, who were most receptive, I have to say, about not Guru. I don't know if she knew Guru. I'm sure she didn't know, because otherwise she would have told my parents. She just kept saying that a bald-headed man appears in front of me all the time, and he has a vertical third eye. And my mom that day told me that one day grandma prayed, went into namaz, and said, "God be with me, because next time this man manifests in front of me, like Guruji Maharaj would automatically just manifest in front of my grandma, just like that. He'd be there, like nobody was in the, let's say, kitchen, and then all of a sudden he was there." So my grandma asked Guruji one day, "What can I do for you? Why are you manifesting around me so much?" And the only thing that he had said to her that is, "We are here to protect you. And this is for all of us. He is here to protect us. And the things that happen to our lives that we think is bad, or it shouldn't have happened, or it's not accepting to the mind and our limited thinking, it's his way of protecting us. We just don't understand it today, and we're not meant to, because it's all his Leela." And like Paramahansa Yogananda says, this life is nothing but a movie. And if you think that you're the producer and director of this movie, you'll be suffering all the time. But if you truly understand that this movie is all produced and it's divine's play, and we're all actors on this stage, then it'll become a blissful, joyful life for sure. So Maharaj, in September 2018, couple months after he came into my life, gave me a dream of standing in this mandir, in this temple, white. And later I understood that it was Baramandir. So of course Guruji has done that many times, not just with myself, many Sangat who had darshans of him or dreams of him before he arrived in their physical dimension. And I saw myself standing beside this red chola. In October, Guruji says, "Come to Baramandir, come to India." And let me tell you that if Maharaj wants you to do something, he will provide everything necessary for that task to be completed. I'm going to say this again. If Maharaj wants you to do anything, he will also provide everything that is necessary for that task to be completed. And what I mean is, I had no money. Nobody knew this. No, I didn't care though. I have Guruji, I have everything. You have Guruji, you have, of course, the monetary, the material world fades away for you, of course, but you have all the banks. You have all the money in the world. You have Maharaj. You have Maharaj. You have all the blessings in the world. You have Maharaj, all the houses. I literally walk around the neighborhood and I'm like, my dad owns this. My dad owns this. My dad owns this house. My dad owns this plaza. My dad owns this car. Literally, you have the power. That's why Guruji said positive thinking. You tell yourself what you want to tell yourself. But of course, logical, but also like, you create that thought. Everything is yours. Guruji is yours. Everything is yours. You have all the abundance in the world, all the countries. You have family. We have family all around the world. That alone tells us what Guruji has done for us. You can go anywhere in the world and be with your Sangat Parivar. So, where was I? Oh yes. So Guruji, I had no money. You don't have to tell Guruji nothing. He knows everything. And I just said, Guruji, no worries. I'll go into my loan again. I got a loan. Thank you for the loan. I'm not worried. I got you. And I got into an accident. Now, when I was bedridden during the second episode, when I healed, I got a car. And this car became useless because I got ill again and I was just sitting in the garage, or my father would use it once in a while or whatever. And I was paying again out of my loan, everything just being out of my loan, no money coming in the account, and you could see only debit, but anyway, all I wanted was to live life and I didn't care for that. So, when Maharaj came into my life and he had a plan for everything, I go out one night, literally, when Guruji came into my life, I didn't do anything. My life was the book and satsang. One night, my friends invite me out. And I think it was September or October, early October, I don't remember. I fall asleep behind the wheel. This is a huge satsang for me. I haven't shared it much, maybe once before. I fell asleep behind the wheel. 5 a.m, my friend was sleeping in my house. He was like, I gotta go home. I don't feel comfortable. Your parents are here. It's not right. He was just a friend that I knew for a long time. And I was like, no, dude, it's okay. You're sleeping in the living room. It's okay. He was like, I'm not comfortable. Your parents are gonna wake up. I want to sleep till late. I was like, okay, he was like, I'll Uber. I was like, no, I'll take you. When you take care of others, God takes care of you. When you get busy taking care of other people, God gets busy taking care of you. And I didn't even know any of these. These were all Guruji teaching me. I just put my sleep. I was like, forget it. I'll take you home. It's okay. It was like a 40-minute drive. On the way back home, I fell asleep behind the wheel. And I hit a car in front of me. Honestly, it's a miracle. I'm not going to go into it. Nothing. I could have hit a pedestrian. I could have hit people on the street. I could have, to this day, again, it's one of those things that, how did I survive that? I hit a van on the street. I wake up and my car, they decide that it needs to be written off. And I get money from insurance, like unimaginable. That money becomes my ticket money and the money that I spent exactly in India. Like, he took care of it to the dot, Guruji, where I didn't have that money before. And of course, he took care of the car that I had to keep for another year for the lease to go, and all these $400 monthlies that I was paying for nothing. Guruji has his unimaginable ways. So when I get to India, the same Swarup that I saw in my dream in September is the first Swarup that I see. And in my dream, I was standing beside it. And of course, when I walked into Baramandir, the main hall was closed because we got there at 10:30, 11 at night, right after I arrived from the airport. And it was the same one that I walked in, and Langar Hall was the same one that was shown to me in my dream. It's incredible. It's incredible. you realize that when Guruji says, when you stop thinking, I'll start thinking, and leave your imagination, you realize that what a waste of time living in this way before Guruji came. And I still do it sometimes, but I go back to, if he showed me a dream in September, showing me and everything really, but let's just go to that one situation, because you have to train your mind to go back to the blessings. Every time something new happens that you don't understand, you have to take your mind. And that's why Guruji created the satsang. So you go back and you say, if Guruji did that there, and the same thing happened months later, he's taking care of everything else. So, it's just power of mind. Positive thinking, like he said. So stop thinking, let Guruji think for you, because he will do things that are unimaginable. I really booked my ticket for 11 days for India. Guruji said no. I said, Guruji, you want me to stay here longer? I'm sure, just let me know, this is your will. I go to Baramandar that day to do seva. And uncle comes right in front of me the moment I got into Baramandar. He's like, son, you need to stay for Guru Nanak Dev Ji's birthday. It's on 22nd, I think was November that year, if I'm not mistaken, 2018. And there you go, Guruji did it. Like he just tells you and he confirms. He tells you and he confirms. And the whole going to India, I've never shared this, but I want to. I didn't know a soul in India, and I was booking a hotel close to Baramandar, and I had booked for 11 days, but of course when I got to India, Guruji said change it to 30 days exactly. And so I booked my ticket, and one day I'm telling Guruji, which hotel should I stay at, that you approve of? I'm sitting in meditation because there's another satsang, but I won't go into it. Basically, my parents had put all their savings into buying a house that all the banks rejected in Toronto. And if one bank rejects in Canada, because your credit is linked in their system, you can't get a mortgage from another bank. They won't give it to you because you've already been rejected from the other bank. It's one system, but it's all Guruji that literally another bank comes and accepts it. Like how? But of course. And I was sitting in my meditation because that morning I was thanking Guruji because my sister called and said, son, parents got approved for the mortgage, which I was like, Guruji, this is all you. I'm sitting in my meditation. I usually put my phone on vibrate during meditate, or on silent when I'm sitting with Guruji. That day, he made me forget doing that. So I'm sitting with Guruji, and all of a sudden, my phone is ringing. And I look at it, and it's Anita, Linda Aunty, who had the pleasure of serving Guruji Maharaj chai and being around him with her son, Himanshu, and just blessed pure souls. And she's calling me, and I'm looking at it like, I'm with Guruji, I'll call her back. So I just, I pressed, I'll call you later. Then I see her, and this doesn't happen usually, like she doesn't repeat it, and then I see the call again, and I'm like, maybe something has happened. Then I see text messages that son, call me right away. Now, you have to realize, when I was sitting in meditation, I was like, Guruji, I know that you'll take care of India. I shouldn't even worried. I mean, just your presence in my life, it was unimaginable. Everything else is going to be the same anyway. So I'm sitting, and I call Anita Aunty, and she said, son, guess what? I'm like, what? She said, this morning I was talking to an auntie in India, and she said, son should come and stay with us. And I was like, oh my God, I was literally Aunty telling Guruji that which hotel should I book? And this is how Guruji instantly answered that I should go and stay with Sunny Aunty. When she said Sunny Aunty, literally Guruji said, son, remember a month ago, so a month before this incident, when I had no plans of going to Baramandar, I went to another city, and I went to a satsang. Now, it was so busy, the cars, there was no parking in front of that house. Of course, there was no pandemic. Everyone was going to satsangs. And literally, I parked again, I mean, you have to understand detail to detail, Guruji, how many cars were parked there, where I got to park. Guruji has control of the smallest things to the biggest things. But for him, he doesn't label these as big or small. For him, it's all one anyway, connected. it human foolish people like me say, oh my God, it's so big or small. But anyway, I remember Guruji said, son, go to your phone. Remember you took a photo when you were going to the satsang? Because when I was a kid, my parents used to call me Sunny. Sun, Sunny, Sanaz, because my Persian name is Sanaz, but Guruji calls me Sun, but my family used to call me Sun or Sunny. So anyway, a month before, Guruji had shown me Sunny Auntie's name while I parked further away from this satsang, but he wanted me to see this, and I hope I can zoom in. So I'm driving, I park my car, and suddenly he put my eyes into this garage, into this house where they had their garage door open, and huge, it says Sunny. I hope you can see it. I don't know if it's clear, but inside here, it's not clear. Sorry, I have to show you. I'm that stubborn. I don't know if you see, but SUNNY, huge. Now, who would do that, And the moment I take a photo, I don't know if you can see, there is a man who has his finger out and he's pointing like that to the name Sunny. It's huge. And I dropped you. I am so sorry. Anyway, so that's that. I wanted to show this photo. A month later, Guruji says, remember that photo that you took? That was me telling you gotta stay with Sunny, and that's how he coordinated. So it's just, every day has been a satsang. I go to India, my luggage comes from carousel, no big or small, carousel number 7. I go out gate number 16. There's flower petals all on the ground, and there's no other soul but me. And I'm like, the Guruji's like telling me, the blessings of his. And my only thought was visiting Baramandir. The moment I get there, Sunny Auntie comes. I meet her really, literally at the airport, and as if we know each other for lifetimes. And I go to Baramandir. Only Guruji knew that was my desire. And I howled. The moment I got to the temple, I howled and I howled because I was home. I was finally home. Everything in my life, everything that I wanted was that. And that's it. Nothing else matters. Now I had no idea Sunny Auntie was Sevadar. I had no idea of anything. My only intention, again, going back, was to stay there 11 days and to really, if I have to say what I imagined, was I always saw myself bowing outside of Guruji's temple and just thanking him for everything he gave me and saving my life, giving me life, literally, on his birthday. I literally, that's the only vision I had. So when Guruji says, don't think, don't imagine, it comes back to this, and don't ask. I didn't even ask. I didn't even know you can serve Guruji in his mandir. I didn't even know what seva was to that point, to be exact. I had read about it in the book, but I was somewhere else, and I didn't know you could be at the temple. And I got to the temple, and Sunny Auntie said, I do seva here. And, I was like, okay, cool, wonderful. So I'll stay home and you go and do seva. And she said, well, whatever Guruji wants. And so the next day, I literally walk into Baramandir, and Guruji says, you need to do seva. And I literally roamed around Baramandir for 30 days like it was my father's house. And it is. What do I say? Satsangs that happen inside the mandir, I wrote them down. Sitting in temple and saying, I'm thirsty, water manifests. I want chai, chai comes. Guruji says, Diwali, you need to stay here longer. A day before Diwali, my seva was done. Guruji says, you need to stay here longer. My ride was going, Sunny Auntie and everyone was going, and Madhu Auntie. And I was like, Guruji, if you want me to stay, you have to give me seva, because these people won't allow me to stay. You can't just stay and chill. You have to finish your seva and leave. And I respect the laws. And Guruji, literally, I come out, this is instant. It's not like 10 minutes later. I come out of the langar hall, a senior lady holding rose petals just stares at me and says, flower seva. And I was like, wow, Guruji. And so I told Sunny Aunty, go. I'm not going to come. Guruji told me to stay. And she said, what do you mean? How are you going to, the logical mind, how are you going to come back? And I was like, if Guruji wants me to stay, who do you think is going to give me a ride back? These were not me. When I go back, I realized Guruji was teaching me everything. Now, this is why I want to share this. There's two ways of praying to Guruji. You going, doing it the way that he said for you not to, by going, Guruji bless me, Guruji bless my family, Guruji give me this, Guruji grant me wisdom. This is all asking. Guruji make me stay in Baramandir, Guruji make me come to India. This is all asking. This, you become a doubtful child. You put your guru in a level where he doesn't like it. He was teaching me that when you have faith in your father and you say Guruji will do it, that's different. So you have a choice to sit in meditation and say, Guruji, bless me. I'm asking you for this. Or you say, Guruji, I know you will bless me. Guruji, I know you will do what's best. Guruji, I know you will give me a ride home. I learned that there and then. I won't say I haven't made no mistakes. You learn. You go through the process and you learn. When I did that, then Guruji blessed me with the unimaginable. So I got to continue doing that because, you have to have faith, even in your conversation with your guru. It's asking, saying, give me that. Even if it's the things that, bless me to be a good person, that's also asking. Guruji, when you're in my life, I know that I have no other option but to be good. That there's a difference. I hope I can convey that learning that I got. And at that moment, it wasn't me who said that. I was like, Guruji will give me a ride. That was also Guruji teaching me to say this. And of course he did. Guruji that night gave me a ride. An uncle came. I was like, Guruji, it's 12 in the morning, done the seva. Who's going to take me home? You're going to take me home. And literally an uncle comes. I hear in my ear, Mere. And the uncle literally puts his hand on his stomach. And I hear Mere. And I understood Mere means me. And literally, I didn't even move from where I was sitting. I didn't. Again, whatever Guruji wants done, he will provide everything for that task to be completed. A woman comes and sit beside me. I want to say these quickly. And literally she says, your son, right? What are you doing here? You were in the morning vacuum seva. And I was like, well, Guruji's going to give me a ride. She goes. She doesn't even say, oh, let me see who can give you a ride or let me give you a ride. Nothing. She just leaves. She was like, who's going to give you a ride? And I said, Guruji will. And then out of all these people in Baramandir, hundreds and hundreds, that uncle and that auntie get together, the same guy that said Mere, and he walks to me. Whatever he wants you to do, it will come to you. What is yours will come to you effortlessly. You don't need to do nothing. You just have to have faith in your guru. Because again, when the guru comes, like beautiful Commander Sharma says, when the guru comes into the disciple's life, you are his project now. You are his problem. Not in a negative sense, but you are his problem. He wouldn't come to your life just because he just wanted to show himself. That's not our guru. He's practical. He comes to bless you. And sometimes those blessings come in a form of taking away people, taking away relationships. And that was evident in my life. And I want to end the satsang with this. I made a mistake of asking Guruji for something. I asked for a relationship. I was in a relationship when Guruji came into my life. And when I got healed, I went forward with this relationship. I mean, I knew somebody, but I went forward with the relationship. And I was healed. I was healthy now. We could be in a relationship. But not once did I ask my guru, Guruji, do you approve of this? I went with my own logical, foolish mind, but I understand that it was my past karma that I had to be complete because Guruji kept showing me my past lifetime with this gentleman, exact gentleman. And he kept telling me that this is something it has to be completed. So I was standing in main hall. I had done my seva. I was waiting for other sevadars to finish so I could vacuum. I'm standing looking at Guruji's gaddi, and I said something so foolish that I'm so grateful I learned this at the beginning of my journey in this physical life. I said, Guruji, marry me to this guy. And at that same moment, instantly, Sunny Aunty walks up to me and says, nobody knew this but Guruji, looks at me and says, son, you want to get married with this same Kalira? And I'm like, again, the foolish girl that I am, she was like, I'm in my head saying, oh my God, Guruji approved. How amazing. Like, you think it's instant coffee, right? Whatever you want, your guru will give you. Not, I didn't know Guruji, I have to say, to the way that I do now. And I'm grateful that the process happened that way. And I was thinking, great, Guruji approved of this relationship. Because I asked, Guruji made it happen. Of course, I wasn't in marriage, but I don't consider someone married if just because they have a ring and they have a paper. Even if you're living with somebody, you're married. This mentality doesn't serve me. I was living with this person, so technically I was married, but just without the certificate. And I suffered. Nobody knew this. Everybody thought everything was good because you have to only go to your guru. And he squeezed me again, but he kept showing me dreams from my past lifetime, saying that this has to be completed. Oh, I cried every day. I suffered, and I understood that whatever ask of my father, he will grant it, but never ask for anything ever again. Did I ask Guruji to serve him in Baramandir? No. I just said, I want to bow at your door and just say thanks. He gave me the world. He opened every door in Baramandir. He blessed me even to walking up the stairs and touching the linga. Everything. And I didn't ask, and he gave me the world. I did a foolish thing and I asked, and he was like, okay, I gotta teach you something. And I'm so grateful because, I realized that this gentleman was cheating on me continuously. He was just, there was everybody's divine. Everybody, there's no judgment, but there's some that are conscious to that divinity, and there's some who are not conscious. I am not here to be connected to to force someone to, if Guruji doesn't want anybody, because wherever you go is where your guru goes. Guruji did not want to be there. For a year and a half, Guruji was showing me that, but I wasn't listening to Guruji. But it's okay. We have to go through the teaching. And I've learned my lesson that, even if I sit with Guruji and all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm not even joking. Even if I say, Guruji, I'm going out, come with me, I realize that I'm asking, even for something, right away, I change it to Guruji, thank you. Okay, Guruji, I'm going out and I know you're with me. Do you see the difference? That is what he wants. And I have to say, I thought I was connected to Guruji since March. I can't even describe to you the transformation that he's done. If my friends, my family, they all look at me as if I'm drugged up. And I say, this is the power of my guru. They all wonder how I survived that relationship, because it looked wonderful from outside. Everything looked wonderful from outside, but it was so empty from within. And I'm not here anymore if it's not the soul connect, and more importantly, if my guru does not approve. So then and I understood that what Guruji was telling me, marry me. And by marrying Guruji, like Anita Kumar Aunty once said, if you don't know what your purpose is, Guruji is your purpose. And that's the only reason I'm here. It's really just Guruji. It's just here. It's so wonderful. I don't have any need or desire of marriage. I don't have any need or desire of children. I don't want anything, just him. And I got him, and whatever happens, happens. So Shukrana. Okay, so I want to share one last thing, and then I will leave it at that. I was standing in front of the cave, Guruji's, let me show you a photo. This blessed place in Baramandar where Guruji meditated. I was standing right there, literally, and and it was just me. There was no one. It was early morning, and I was like, this. It's a funny thing. Like I was just like all over this door. Like, oh my God, Guruji's touched this door, and like the lion door handles. I was like putting my face over it, like, and then I all of a sudden Guruji's like, literally, Guruji's like, look back, you fool, you pugly. I literally heard that, pugly, look back, and I looked back and I saw Gaurav, uncle, is it Gaurav? Just staring at me like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And I'm literally like, oh my gosh. Oh, so I literally ran to the longer hall, and suddenly Sunny Aunty says, son, we have to vacuum here. Where have you been? And I was like, you don't want to know what I just did. Like Gaurav uncle is thinking, who is this girl like taking a shower with this door? And I was like, I hope he never sees me ever again, because I was so like ashamed. And then I come to remove all these Sevadar bags, and suddenly a song is playing from one of the bags that is Ibadat Kar, Ibadat Kar, that Shabad. And if it was a phone ring, it would stop. It was in 5 minutes. As I'm removing these, it was just playing. And I kept putting my ear to the bag, and where is this coming from? The shabad was just playing in my ear. I realized today that's what Guruji was telling me. I thought it was coming from the bag, so you have no idea what Guruji can do. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't mean you, but I understand with everything. He can do anything. He turned on music, shabad in my mind. And Ibad, and then literally I went to Sunil uncle and I was like, uncle, what is this Ibad mean? And pray to me and I'll do the job. Pray to me and I'll get the job done. And I was like, okay. So Guruji suddenly gave me a vision of that lion doorknob. Months later, I come to Toronto to a satsang. I had forgotten about this satsang. I had forgotten about this. I get to this person's house, bow to Guruji Maharaj, his gaddi. Then I see a lion, one of the doorknobs, but bigger. And I just remember that day. He takes you back to that day. And all of a sudden, at that point, suddenly, the same Shabad, Abadat Kar started playing. And I understood that, again, Guruji says, just connect to me. Just come to me. Don't ask for anything. Just the desire to connect to me is enough. And of course, in this Kali Yuga, it's all enough. If I had all, Uncle, you said I have all the time. If we would have to go for days and days. I was sitting in meditation in April, and suddenly Guruji said, son, open Instagram. These are not your thoughts, because I've been so away for 6-7 years from social media. And I recently opened Facebook just because I had to recite Autobiography of a Yogi for a Sangat page. But otherwise, it's just, I feel I'm an old soul and it doesn't serve me. And suddenly Guruji says, Instagram. I heard it vividly in my right ear, and share satsang. So Guruji through me is sharing satsangs on this Instagram page, which I'll share it, sun_and like AND_divine. He has asked me to say, I'm not a type of person to usually announce things, but none of it is mine anyway. It's all satsangs being shared, and everything pretty much that he has blessed me is shared, except the initiation satsang, because it's so long it can't be, but sun_and_divine. And you have to understand, you think, oh, Guruji is doing this for me. Iranian people in Iran are doing satsangs. Iranian people in Dubai are doing satsangs. They're going to satsang just because Guruji asked me to open this Instagram page. I can't even believe it. Like, it's incredible. I just share satsang, and then people message me saying, son, and it's not about Guruji. Like, he told me that it has to be in a way that it anyone can hear. It could resonate to anyone's ear. So don't, say so much Guruji, but be truthful about your path. And a guru came, a soul needs a guru to evolve and things like that. But the things that Guruji is doing is mind blowing. Like I said, Iranian people all around the world, wherever I know them, they're being connected to Guruji. An Italian guy recently, it's incredible. And of course, you all know about Anthony Wisdom, the Jamaican gentleman who Guruji. So when Guruji said, at every corner of the world, I will be worshipped, I am witness of that. I am a witness of that. And the transformation that is happening in their lives is unbelievable. Thank your Guru. I want to leave it at that. Thank your Guru. If you do this, you will have no time for anything else. Thank him for, and don't wait to be like son that, thanks to Guruji that I got bedridden. I couldn't brush my teeth. I didn't have hair. Thank divinity for your hair. Thank divinity for this inner world, to this inner transformation. Thank divinity for brushing your teeth, but also for the hand that comes up, because I couldn't do this. Thank him for walking, but also for the foot that is programmed by him, that knows exactly the steps, because a lot of people can't do that. Thank him for being able to sit comfortably, because I couldn't do that. Thank him for being able to shower. I couldn't do that. I had to wait for my mom to come and help me. Thank him for putting clothes on with ease. That if you realize that we take so many things for granted, you will not have time for your worries. I mean, my day is just, thank you that I can stare at a computer without me being hurt, because there was a point that, or I have my blinds open, because I had to close all my blinds. I was so sensitive because of the light and I had earmuffs. Oh, thank you that I can hear. Thank you that I can see. Thank you that I don't need glasses or sunglasses to sit in my own house, because I had to. Thank you that I can put nail polish on. Thank you that I can smile. Thank you that I can cry. I couldn't do those. I couldn't do that. Thanks that I can run. I mean, I can go for days. Thank you that I can utter your name. When the Guru comes, you are his project. When the Guru comes, you are his problem. When the Guru comes, you are his responsibility. I wrote a couple of things. I don't want to miss anything. Smile. This is Guruji continuously telling me, and it's also written in the Divine Light. Don't keep your best clothes for tomorrow. Satsangs, wear it for Guruji. Wear your best jewelry, wear everything that you have bought, but wear it for you. Do it for your divinity, for you. And wear it with a smile, because Guruji always says, wear your best outfit with a smile, because we, just like Usha Auntie's husband has said, Guruji wants you to celebrate every moment. This is a gift. It's a gift that we have our Guru come in this Kali Yuga for us. It's incredible. And I just want to say to the woman, when this year started, 2021, Guruji told me this year is a woman's year. This year is for women. I didn't understand it then, but I understand now with all the things, with all these things that's happening. Not only did it happen in my own life and my own relationship and my own transformation, because truly the biggest satsang is what happens inside, not outside. None of this matters. It's that inner healing, like Guruji said, the inner world, and then your outer world will just be taken care of by Guruji. I had no value for myself, and I thought I did. I had no value for myself, is what I mean by myself. Self is Guru. The Guru lives in me. The Guru lives in you. The Guru lives in all of us. And this year, Maharaj said, this year is a woman's year. A lot of women are waking up to the fact that just like how planet Earth, Divine Mother, was not respected, this is the power of 2021. People are waking up to that. Wake up to that value. Divinity loves women. And Guruji Maharaj himself has said to Commander Sharma, if a woman is not respected, I do not go to that house. Hence, obviously, year and a half, Guruji, a Swarup will go to my house in my past, my last relationship, in our last home. Something would happen and Guruji would take it out. Somebody would want, like, he was constantly exiting it. And I have to leave it at that, is that when I left my relationship, Guruji went into this gentleman's dream, and a vivid dream. He showed him a dream. He showed him that I was sleeping on the floor and Guruji was sleeping beside me. And he, in his dream, he sees himself walking up to the stairs where the we were sleeping in the hallway. We weren't even in the bedroom in the dream. He goes to the hallway and suddenly Guruji gets up. And the moment he comes, Guruji leaves. I mean, what bigger message from Guruji than that? I don't want to be here. He comes, I leave. Again, no judgment. We know this as Sangat. No one is better. No one is higher. I was the biggest sinner. And if Maharaj gave me this blessing, then he can do it with anyone. But when the Guru comes, it's him living in you. Whatever energy you give, that energy comes to you. Whatever you seek, seeks you. Now you're one with divinity. Paramahansa Yogananda said the same. I am God. God is me. So in a humble sense, of course we know that. And value the divine in you. Until you don't value that divine in you, nobody will value you. And I really wanted to leave it at that because that's what I wrote. I had no respect for Guruji. I have to say, Guruji maaf karo. I had no respect for his light in me. And I understand, again, it was my karma, but I wasn't listening to him. Your feelings are also another. Don't wait for external messages and WhatsApp or this or that. Or the internal world has nothing to do actually with external. If he wants to create that, he will. But it's how you feel. Guruji talks to you through your feelings, through your intuition, through the emotions that you have. And I knew from the get-go that that's not where I was supposed to be, but because I was so into people pleasing and again, his will, I had to wake up to that, to recognizing that divine within myself. And I wanted to share that message to all the ladies, because I know not just myself, a lot of relationships are changing, a lot of separations, but I promise you, it's all from Guruji. He has a better plan. If Guruji takes away something, he has something better. And I believe I've shared everything. Don't limit Guruji to, I've heard a lot of Sangat say, oh, Jal Prashad only. Guruji blesses through Jal. No. Do not limit him. Guruji, you don't even need anything. You don't need Gaddi. You don't see any Gaddi. You don't need a Swarup. He lives in your heart. He can bless through anything, chai prashad or not. Last night, I had a huge headache, not migraines like I had. I just had this pain on the back of my head, and I understood because I didn't meditate yesterday. And the moment I sat with Guruji and I put Shabads on, 20 minutes later, the pain vanished. I didn't take in anything. Let's not limit Guruji and go around and Sangat and tell one another that it's only Jal Prashad, it's chai, it's this, let's not limit the unlimited, is what I'm saying. You don't need anything, keep him in here, cherish him, value him, and Shukrana Guruji. Right after this, I want to share with my family that I'm actually, for the second time, but the first time I wasn't in my right, I was going through a lot of turmoil in my personal life last year, July 1st, but this year it's only me and Guruji again, and I'm actually gonna go to downtown Toronto after this. I'm gonna go in the same building that I live where Guruji came to in my life. I'm gonna go to the same pharmacy. I'm gonna go through that road and 45-minute walk and get to that church that there was no church. And then I'm gonna go to C3 Church. And I'm gonna imagine, visualize the girl. I'm gonna relive it today. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to share this divinity. And I'm so grateful. Shukrana Guruji. Thank you, Sangatji. Thank you, beautiful family. Jai Guruji Maharaj.
Love you, son. Love you. Uh,